for me...
But you're thinking about it?
Frankly, yeah. I'm thinking about it. We are discussing with many people. Even in the coalition, we discussed that. But I have not made any firm decision. For me, priority number one, okay, is to get a person that will improve the quality of governance in Nigeria. If the quality of governance in Nigeria is improved, I will thrive. I will do well. Okay? I have an address. I have a profession. I have capabilities. I don't need to be in politics. I don't need to be in public service to thrive. So first order of business is to have a country that is well run, where the resources are applied, where people have a great opportunity to realize their potential. So for me, that's number one. Okay? That person also should be able to defeat President Tinubu, because President Tinubu is determined to make this election look as if it is settled. It is not. They are giving the impression through defections and so on as if, this is... It is not. We know. Okay? It is not. And as I've said before, and I'll say it again, I have looked at the numbers, I've looked at the trends of elections. President Tinubu has no pathway to win. He cannot win. In fact, he'll be lucky if he is third. Okay?
On that note, I want to thank you very much.
That was Malam Nasiru El-Rufai, founding member of the All Progressive Congress, who has defected to the Social Democratic Party and is part of the arrowheads of the coalition to ensure that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a one-term president by 2027. Talking about that from what he has seen on ground, that Tinubu will be lucky to even got a third position in 2027 election. And in that interview, he also gave what of the characteristics or what was needed for anyone who will be the arrowhead, who will be able to lead the coalition, who will be the presidential candidate that will emerge from the coalition. He gave two criteria that is required for you to be chosen to be the arrowhead of the coalition to challenge the APC for the governance of Nigeria in 2027. The number one criteria he gave was that the person must be somebody who can give good governance. Who can give good governance. Now, if we are to narrow it with the top two people that people are talking about, because even in the interview, El-Rufai deliberately excused himself that he's not contesting for any election. But you and I know that Peter Obi is in the race. Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 presidential election, is in the race. And there are many people, the obedience and Nigerians, who want him to be in the race. And then you have Atiku Abubakar, the presidential candidate of the PDP in the 2027 election, who is determined to run again. Even when age is not on his side, but he insisting that he will run. Even when people are saying that the North have had their fair share, Buhari has done 8 years, that it is the South that now need to do 8 years. And that Buhari has done, Tinubu has done 4 years from the South. So he has 4 more years left, which many people are saying Peter Obi should take that position from the South, since Tinubu has performed woefully. And no fair-minded person would say that Tinubu deserves anything further than 2027. Okay? That said, but Atiku is insisting he's contesting. A lot of people are already campaigning for him, believing that he is the person that should challenge Tinubu. Even against the rotational principle, against the federal character principle, and all that. Okay, so between Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, who do you think can be able to give good governance? Because if you look at the history, Atiku has never governed a state before. He was initially elected as governor of Adamawa State, but Obasanjo appointed him as his vice president. So he was not able, nobody had been able to see Atiku in charge. Atiku has never been in charge. He has never had an opportunity to exhibit characteristics of a good governance. The whole thing is just hype. Because if you look at it critically, you discover that it was Obasanjo's administration. It was Obasanjo that was running the show. Atiku was only supportive. If you say that Obasanjo administration gave good governance, that does not equate that it was Atiku Abubakar. Because you know that Atiku Abubakar only was active in the first 3 years. Before the fourth year of the administration, Obasanjo and Obasanjo and Atiku, they had already fallen out. So Obasanjo was running the show and sidelined Atiku Abubakar. So whatever credit you are giving to the administration of Obasanjo, there is a limit to which Atiku was a participant. So Atiku Abubakar has never run any state for us to know whether he has good governance credentials. And when you talk about good governance, you are talking about running a government that is transparent, in which there is no corruption. But if you go and read Obasanjo's book, My Watch, there are so many allegations of corruption that Obasanjo raised against Atiku Abubakar. And even if you go to Google now as I'm talking to you, Atiku, go and type in your computer. Go to Google, type Atiku Abubakar and corruption. You'll be shocked what will come out from allegations in the United States and everywhere, and all kinds of things will come up. The court cases and everything will come up. So that's not a credential of somebody who can give good governance. But look at Peter Obi. Peter Obi gave good governance in Anambra State. He left Anambra State better than he met Anambra State. He took Anambra State to #1 in education. Anambra was literally at the bottom. He restored democratic institutions in terms of rebuilding the state executive government, because there was no government house when he came in. He tried to conduct local government election. They took him to court. So he did so many things, but in the health sector, in the education sector, in restoring payment of civil servant salary. Do you know that education collapsed under Mbadinuju? And that collapsed education was inherited by the Ngige of the PDP, before the Supreme Court threw him out and bring in Peter Obi, the authentic winner of the election of 2003 and all that. So he showed good governance. Somebody who saved over $150 million of Anambra money, saved about 36 billion of Anambra money, and was able to have money left to pay 3 months' salary. No contractor was owed, and he didn't steal any money. Any money. EFCC has nothing on him. ICPC has nothing on him. He is squeaky clean. He doesn't collect pension. He doesn't own any land given to him by Anambra State government. Neither did he allocate anyone to himself. He used MDG, Millennium Development Goal, the yardstick with which India and China was able to lift hundreds of millions out of poverty to run Anambra State. And the records was there. And the records were there. So if you're talking about somebody who will give good governance, I can take it to the bank. You can take it to the bank that Peter Obi will give good governance. He will not steal government money, and he will not allow anybody to steal government money, not under his watch. But people will get fair wage, people will be productive, the country will move forward, wealth will be equitably distributed according to your own contribution to the production process in Nigeria under his leadership. The records are there. He can do that. So when it comes to good governance, Peter Obi stops in terms of what the criteria that El-Rufai gave, that the coalition is looking for somebody who can be able to be the arrowhead of the coalition against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Then number 2 point he raised, he said, somebody who can win. El-Rufai is always emphasizing on who can win. Now, between Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, who can win? Who can win in 2027? Who can win? That's a big question. Now, if you look at the history of Atiku Abubakar has never done well when he doesn't have structures supporting him. Even Atiku Abubakar himself confessed that you need structures to win election in Nigeria. In 2023 election, one of the issues he was hammering against Peter Obi and Labour Party was that they have no structure. They have no local government chairman. They have no councillor. They have no state house of assembly member. They have no body in the National Assembly. They have no state governor. They have nothing. He said that doesn't work that way. You can go and watch Atiku Abubakar interview, which I have shared on this channel before. Say no hope for Peter Obi and the Labour Party. Okay? So Atiku Abubakar had that mindset that structure is what makes a party. And in PDP, in the election that was held in 2023, he had a lot of structures. He had about 12 or 13 governors. He had about over 30 senators and House of Representative members, almost double that number. They had state House of Assemblies and all that. But after the election, despite all the doctrine of that election, allegedly by INEC, Peter Obi was able to get 6.1 million votes, who has no structure. Atiku Abubakar, who has all the structures, which he was bragging about at that time, got only 6.9 million votes. And that was after all the slashings of Peter Obi's votes. Now we are going to an election in 2027 in which Atiku is running without structure. Even his state governor, Fintiri, the governor of Adamawa State, is not with Atiku Abubakar. Fintiri is with Yeso Wike. Fintiri is therefore likely to work for Tinubu ahead of the election. He's going to be part of the structure of Tinubu in 2027. Now, since Atiku Abubakar himself believed that you can't win the election without structures, so where is the confidence of Atiku winning this election? It's not there. So Atiku cannot win because he doesn't have the structure, which Atiku, believe is what was needed or what is needed to win any election in Nigeria. And if you look at his history, he had performed abysmally anytime he doesn't have structure. If you look at his performance in 2007, when he contested under ACN, he performed abysmally. When he contested at that period, where the only governor he had was Lagos State Governor, you saw how it ended up. Now we are going to an election. We are going to an election in 2027 in which the PDP say they are not going to be part of the coalition. So Atiku is going without any structure. Now, Atiku doesn't have organic support. He doesn't have the Buhari effect. And he doesn't have the Peter Obi effect. He doesn't even have the Kwankwaso effect. Because Kwankwaso is somebody who has grassroots support, the Kwankwasia movement. He doesn't have it. Okay? But Peter Obi has grassroots, authentic support. Grassroots. As I speak with you now, Peter Obi has literally locked down Southeast. Literally locked down Southeast ahead of the election. Even Atiku Abubakar cannot lock down Northeast. He cannot be able to lock down Northeast. I don't see him doing that. Not with the present state of things. So, if El-Rufai is sincere, and the people in that coalition, they are sincere, Peter Obi is the only person that met these two criteria that El-Rufai put out there, that should be how to look at who will emerge as the presidential candidate to defeat Tinubu. So I think that Peter Obi, without structure, was able to do very well, winning about 13 states, including the FCT, without a single structure, without no local government chairman or councillor. Defeating Tinubu where it mattered most. He defeated Tinubu in Lagos. He defeated Tinubu in River State before INEC did their African magic. Independent tabulation of results in River State by BBC and Premium Times showed that Peter Obi won River State. For Peter Obi to carry Lagos and River State, it shows the person who can win. It shows the person who can win. Peter Obi can win. Peter Obi can defeat Tinubu. Because already Tinubu is bad market. There is no part of this country you go to that will tell you that in terms of performance, that Tinubu has done anything better than Buhari. In fact, in the eyes of the public, he has done even worse than Buhari. If there is a free and fair election, and Peter Obi's integrity and competency and aversion to corruption is presented and packaged well, Peter Obi can defeat Tinubu. Because in the eyes of the Nigerian public, the difference between Atiku and Tinubu is like the difference between Eba and Gary. It's like the difference between 6 and half a dozen. There is nothing really to differentiate two of them. All you have to do is go and read Obasanjo's My Watch and see what Obasanjo said about them when it comes to issue of transparency, corruption, and what have you. And make up your mind. I don't know what you think about El-Rufai's 2 conditions that he said that they're going to consider in who becomes the presidential candidate of the emerging coalition. Who between Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi do you think met that condition that could be able to bring a new Nigeria in Nigeria? Whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you will be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it hard and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.